Good morning, one and all. Friends, myself, Dr. Rashmi Joshi Sawalkar, Department of Zoology. Dear friends, this is our second lecture of semester 5th and unit 5th, the aquaculture. Friends, this is an introductory lecture on aquaculture. So let's see what is aquaculture. Aquaculture is the controlled production of animals that normally live in water, that is, fish farming. It is the practice started by the Egyptians and Chinese 3000 years before. Aquaculture In aquaculture, water creatures are there which can be cultured. Now, it can be done in two ways. First, freshwater aquaculture, and the second is marine water or saltwater aquaculture. The animals raised for production may include crustacean, that is shrimps and crayfish, mollusks, example clams and oysters, amphibians, example frogs, and reptiles, for example alligators. These all animals can be cultured under aquaculture. Now, in aquaculture, fish provide a high quality, high protein supply of meat. Why fish? Friends, we will see here first why farming is done. Why it is economically important? Because fish provide a high quality, high protein supply of meat. As with other agriculture animals, humans soon discovered that by producing their own aquatic animals, that the supply available to the consumer would be more dependable and easier to harvest. Also, commercial growing of fish. 5 million tons a year can be produced through fish farming. Demands of the consumer has increased. Many advantages over other agricultural animals. Fish are ectothermic, that is cold-blooded. You all know that fish are ectothermic. This means less energy goes into maintaining a constant body temperature. Now, fish production. Fish have a higher percentage of edible meat, up to 85%. And up to 6,000 pounds fish can be raised on 1 acre. See friends, in 1 acre of farm, about 6,000 pounds of fish can be raised or cultured, and this fish has the higher percentage of edible meat. Now, problems in fish production. Everything has some advantages as well as disadvantages. So friends, here are also some problems in fish farming. What are those problems? See, dissolved oxygen level must be maintained. The farmer at the time of fish farming should maintain the dissolved oxygen level. And shipping of meat, it can be done within the time period as fish spoils quickly, so shipping of the meat can be done in the desired time period. Operations are labor intensive. More labors are required here. Operations are high risk. Now, how fish respire? You all know the fish respire, breathe oxygen. It uses gills to take oxygen from the water and put it to use in the bloodstream. The gills act just as lungs do. The oxygen is put into the water through photosynthesis, process in which aquatic plants which releases dissolved oxygen into the water, directly from the sun penetrating the oxygen into the waves, aeration by creating waves. If the dissolved oxygen level falls below a certain point, the fish may suddenly die or suffocate. So it is very risky to maintain to farm in fish farming. It is very much important to maintain the dissolved oxygen level to culture the fishes. Now, what is fish farming? Enclosures like tanks are used to produce fish for commercial purposes, called as fish farming. See here the three images I have given. The tanks are there in which the fishes you are seeing. So these different types of tanks are used in fish farming in commercial purposes. Now, fish farming can be done in two types: capturing fishes and culturing fishes. Now, what is capturing fishes? Capture fishing involves obtaining fish from natural resources like like in seawater or freshwater. So, the simple process that capturing the fish by net or any other method from natural resources is the capture fishing. In culture fishing, it involves culturing the fish in small enclosures. In the previous slide, you all have seen the different types of tanks in which fishes are cultured. So that type is culture fishing. See here the flow chart. Capture fishing in the sea or in the river or lakes in freshwater, and culturing fishes on the right side image. This is marine fishing and this is inland fishing. These are the two types, marine fishing and inland fishing. Now, what is marine fishing or marine fishery? Fishing in saltwater regions is called marine fisheries. Mariculture involves culturing of fish in marine water. Marine fishery resources include 7,500 kilometers of the Indian coastline. What is mariculture? See, mariculture involves culturing of fish in marine water. Mariculture is a specialized branch of aquaculture involving the cultivation of marine organisms for food and other products in the open oceans, an enclosed section of the ocean. Now, what is inland fishery? Inland fisheries comprise freshwater and seawater, where fish are trapped or captured. Freshwater resources include canals, ponds, reservoirs, and rivers. Seawater resources include oceans. There is an overlap between bodies of water classified as coastal lagoons and bodies of water classified as estuaries. So inland fisheries can be done in lagoons, estuaries, canals, ponds, reservoirs and rivers. It can be done in seawater also and in freshwater also. It is a type inland fishery. See the diagram, see the image here. What is inland fishery? Estuaries and lagoons. Now, composite fish farming. It is a method in which different types of fishes are cultured at a same time in the same area. So we'll see what is composite fish farming and what are the benefits of composite fish farming. So first, composite fish farming system is a technology developed in India by the Indian Council of Agricultural Research in 1970s. In this system, both local and imported fish species, a combination of 5 or 6 fish species, is used in a single fish pond. See friends, here 5 to 6 different species of fishes are cultured in a single fish pond. So these species are selected so that they do not compete for food among them, having different types of food habits. Friends, here the 5 to 6 different species are used should have the different food habits so that it will become easy or easier to culture them in the same pond. or in the same area. As a result, the food available in all the parts of the pond is used. Fish used in this system include katla and silver carp, which are surface feeders, rohu, a column feeder, and mrigel and common carp, which are bottom feeders. We will see in the next diagram. I will explain you what are these types of feeders. Okay. Other fish will also feed on the excreta of the common carp, and this helps contribute to the efficiency of the system, which in optimal conditions will produce 3000 to 6000 kg of fish per hectare per area. So this is the composite fish farming. Now by this image, I will explain you what is composite fish farming. See friends, the first one, that is grass carp. Grass carp is a species of fish which feeds on the weed in the ocean. So it is a weed feeder. These fishes feed on the weed present in the ponds or tanks. The second one is katlas. So these are surface feeder. In the tanks or ocean, these feed on the upper surface or upper layer of the water. So these are surface feeder. The third one is rohus, middle zone feeders. These feed on the fishes or food which is available in the middle area of the tank. So see, the first one, grass carp, which feeds on only the weeds of the area. The second one is katlas, which feed on the only on the surface area. Now, rohus, which feed on the middle area or middle zone of the tanks or the area. The last one is the mrigel or common carp. These are the bottom feeders. So, these fishes feed on the food which is available in at the bottom of the tanks or at the bottom of the area where they are cultured. So there is no competition for their food. So this type of composite fish farming helps in the development or production of more than 5 types of species at a time. Now friends, here now we will see what is intensive aquaculture. Friends, two types of aquaculture is there. First is intensive and second is extensive. So what is this intensive aquaculture? In intensive culture systems, there is a decreased dependence on the availability of natural food and greater dependency on the use of commercial feeds. See here, intensive aquaculture in which the commercial food is provided and the fishes that are cultured can be given the artificial food or commercial food. They didn't depend upon the natural food available for them. So densities of fish kept within such holding areas are limited by species tolerance, ability to grow at raised stocking densities, and maintenance of environmental parameters rather than the production of a natural food supply. So this is intensive aquaculture. The next is extensive aquaculture. In extensive aquaculture is the other form of fish farming. Extensive aquaculture is more basic than intensive aquaculture in that less effort is put into the husbandry of the fish. Extensive aquaculture is done in the ocean, natural and man-made lakes, bays, rivers, and fjords. Fish are contained within these habitats by multiple mesh enclosures, which also function as trapping nets during harvest. See here, in the intensive type, the artificial food or commercial food is provided. In this extensive type, the natural resources are used in which the cages or nets are built, in which mesh is built, in which in that enclosures the fishes are cultured and the food available here is the natural resource. So this is the difference between intensive and extensive aquacultures. Now, quality fish seed. Fish seed means development of the eggs or seeds of fish for fish farming. Now, how a quality seeds can be developed? One problem with such composite fish culture is that many of these fish breed only during monsoon. In only the breeding season is monsoon here for some varieties or species of fishes. So throughout the year, fish farming can't be possible. So to overcome this problem, the quality fish seed how can be developed? Even if fish seed is collected from the wild, it can be mixed with that of other species as well. So, a major problem in fish farming is the lack of availability of good quality seeds. To overcome this problem, ways have now been worked out to breed these fish in ponds using hormonal stimulation. So to overcome the this problem of fish culture or fish seed development is hormonal stimulation. Now friends, fishes are now injected with hormones that stimulate the production of eggs or seeds. This has ensured the supply of pure fish seed in desired quantities. See here the slide in which quality fish seed injecting hormones in fishes, how the hormone is injected into the fishes so that the eggs or seeds can be developed or get throughout the year. Next. Now, egg production or in seed production, when small fish hatch, they are called as fries. After hatching from the egg, the small minute fishes are called as fries. They are placed in tanks until they are about 2 inches long. So, the newly hatched fries are developed in the tanks till they grow into the size to the up to the size 2 inches. These 2 inches sized fishes are called as fingerlings. Newly hatched are called as fries. 2 inches long fishes developed are called as fingerlings. Now friends, these fingerlings are transferred into a pond or huge tank until they weigh 2 pounds. So these are the steps how fishes are developed in the fish farming. So the firstly newly hatched fries are developed up to 2 inches long, which are called as fingerlings. The second step is these fingerlings are transferred into a pond or a huge tank until they weigh up to the 2 pounds of weight. Fish are fed twice a day. The feeding is provided 2 times a day. Fish are harvested using seines or large nets. Another method of raising production fish is using large submerged cages, also nets and also cages, as I have shown in the previous slide, first or second slide, I think. What are cages? Okay, now see what are cages. Fish may be inspected more closely. Why cages are used? Friends, you all know how the fishes are uh, captured or harvested through the nets. But nowadays, these cages are also used. So, what are the advantages of using the cages? Fish may be inspected more closely. Inspection can be done more closely in the cages. Less feed is wasted as we provide food 2 times a day. So, if the culture is done or into the cages, the less feed is wasted. Okay, now predator problems are solved. As the fishes are cultured into the cages, the predators are not able to harm the harvest or fishes. Now harvesting is easier as the fishes are into the cages, so they can be harvested very easily. Friends, this was the introductory lecture on aquaculture. Now in the next lecture we will study the other topics of our syllabus. So I think you all understood very well what is aquaculture, what is mariculture, what is fish farming, what is seed production, good quality seed production, how cages are used, and blah blah blah. So friends, We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks a lot.